One of the most annoying items to find early wipe in Tarkov are the ISKRA ration packs. On top of Jaeger deciding to quest lock you behind Acquaintance, which means everyone and their mother needs these, Jaeger decided you need 3 of them, and they all have to be found in raid. And as soon as you get lucky enough to find one of these ISKRAs, you'll probably end up dying. Not to mention that this is Jaeger's first quest, which means if you plan on progressing at all, you need to do this quest before unlocking the majority of other quests. This quest ends up being a huge pain in the ass early wipe because everyone is ransacking all the food container spawns for multiple different reasons, or waiting till later in the wipe after everyone has already gotten the quest done. Hey guys, just before this video goes live, patch 14.0 dropped, which wiped the game and added Ground Zero, which also ended up changing the Acquaintance quest. You no longer need ameliorated croutons, but now need packs of instant noodles instead, so keep an eye out for those now and ignore any mentions of Amelias throughout this video. Thanks. To help you minimize your pain of finding all 3 ISKRAs, I will quickly go over a ton of different ways to find the ISKRA ration packs and what maps are the best to find them on. For the people who don't want to stick around for the whole video, here's a quick rundown. Labs and crafting ISKRAs in the nutrition unit are the only ways to guarantee them. BSG removed Interchange's 100% spawn rate around a year ago, and now Labs is the only place that has that spawn rate. Reserve, Woods, and Interchange are the best maps if you don't feel like going Labs. Now here's the more detailed version. If you are looking to completely optimize your runs and get these as fast as you can, I've got some bad news for you. The only way to get guaranteed ISKRAs is either building the nutrition unit and crafting them, or going labs and looting the small black weapon boxes. While crafting the nutrition unit doesn't sound all that bad, this is a little bit of an investment at early wipe. It also isn't that expensive, requiring level 1 generator as a prerequisite, and having 1 can of salt, 1 power cord, and 2 phase control relays. This also takes 0 time to build, as the nutrition unit will be level 1, and there's no building time for level 1 units. You can then craft the ISKRAs by using 2 army crackers, 1 small Tashanka, and 1 squash. This isn't that bad of a deal, but crackers and squash end up selling for a lot on the fleet early in the wipe, and you might be better off hoarding them instead. On the other hand, a couple patches ago, Interchange lost the 100% spawn rate for ISKRAs in 4x4 small weapon boxes, which ruined the main plan of just go Interchange, just loot all the weapon boxes. That doesn't work anymore. Those boxes can still spawn them, but it's not nearly as common. While Interchange lost their 100% spawn rate, guess what map didn't? Labs. Labs seems to have not lost their 100% spawn rate for ISKRAs, which means you can easily get all of your ISKRAs in a couple runs max, right? Labs also has a ton of these weapon boxes, but with the newer update that added dynamic loot containers, which means lootable containers don't spawn all the time anymore, you may end up having to run all around the map to find one of these boxes. While this may sound all good and you might be putting on a kit to go labs right now, wait 1 second. We all know how great BSG is with dealing with cheaters, and we all know what map cheaters like the best, especially early wipe. If you do get lucky enough to get a keycard and decide to go labs, be wary that you have a pretty good chance of getting destroyed by hackers. If BSG does decide to bless you enough to where your raid has 0 cheaters, then all you have to do is run around the map and find the weapon boxes, which I'll show later on in the video. Now that we're done with the guaranteed options, I'm going to give you 3 maps to choose from to hunt your ISKRAs down on. Now the 3 maps you're going to want to focus are Reserve, Woods, or Interchange. Starting off with Reserve. Reserve has a ton of these wooden food crates scattered all around the map, and if you get lucky enough, you can get a couple of those food crates all to yourself if you come across the RBPSV1, RBPSP1, or RBPSP2 keys, but not RBPSV2. This key has no ration boxes, but is still good to keep if you want to get some technical and medical spawns. Those keys were pretty common last wipe, so make sure you're checking jackets and looking on dead scads to see if you can get one to spawn. Even if you finish getting all your ISKRAs, you can still use the keys to loot the other crates in there, like the medical and technical crates, where you can find car batteries, cigarettes, and nuts and bolts. For the open ration crate spawns, there's 3 in front of the K buildings, 3 in front of the helicopter by the barracks, 3 underneath Black Bishop, 1 in the food area right underneath Black Bishop, 1 in the bunker right outside where you turn on the power for D2, and 1 right next to a tank on a bunker outside the armor train station. Also in the back rooms right next to the bunker aromatic extract, there's 3 wooden crates you can find that are hidden behind the fences. Some of these are going to require jump overs though, and they're kind of risky, and if you get stuck behind them, sometimes there's no way to get out. Woods doesn't have nearly as many crates as Reserve does, but it still has some pretty good food spawns. Just be careful since Woods is going to be filled with players at the beginning of the wipe since everybody needs to go there for quests. The Not Sunken Village on the top right of the map right next to the car extract has a couple of buildings where food spawns pretty commonly. Check these spawns to see if they're there and try to leave ASAP. The Sawmill has a couple of spawns in the 3 little cabins close to the sniper rock and at the shed down by the beach, but it's Sawmill. That's basically a death wish if you aren't careful enough about how to approach it. Go too early into the raid and you might die to players, go too late into the raid and you might die to player scavs. Or get unlucky and have Sturman spawn in and one-tap you without having the chance to fight back. If you're newer, I'm going to recommend skipping Sawmill altogether, but if you have some experience and are confident, then you can make the decision yourself. The USEC camp is also a pretty contested area, but has some open food spawns and 2 wooden food crates. Check these and make your way to the antenna tower where the goons spawn to check for more food spawns. You'll run your way down into the bunker, and right next to the scav extract, there's a table that has some open food spawns. Finally, make your way to the small container camp right next to the antenna tower, and check for food on the tables in the wooden crate. But the most important part of Woods, where you're going to find a ton of food, and probably the same place where you'll be checking for Salewa spawns, is Medcamp. Medcamp has a ton of ration crates and medical crates scattered all around the inside of the camp. Make sure that if you get a spawn your med camp early on, that you try to get there immediately, so you can try to get to the good stuff first. Be ready to fight though, since this is an extremely popular place to go to. My final map I'm going to recommend if you don't want to go balls to the walls and go labs early wipe is Interchange. You can continue to check those weapon boxes for the 29.3% food spawn and hope that you get an ISKRA from it, or go to Goshen and grab the ingredients to craft the ISKRAs yourself in your hideout. The most important area of Goshen that you're going to want to check is the back left corner, where you can find shelves that hold a ton of different food spawns very close to each other. This is where you're going to find all the different types of food items that you're going to need to craft those ISKRAs in your hideout. Either way, you can keep those food spawns and barter them for a hollow donut container to keep all your food in, or sell the food on the flea because food is pretty expensive early wipe. If you are ballsy enough to go labs, then here's a map with the highlighted 4x4 weapon boxes. I'd recommend using the mapgenie.io map just because the Tarkov help one doesn't look nearly as good. When going labs, I'd try not to overstay your visit and maybe grab 1 or 2 ISKRAs, then get out ASAP. You can try to hit one of the switches to activate an extract, hope someone else does it for you, or take the no backpack extract in the basement. After all, you're here just to get your ISKRAs and nothing else. So make sure you survive. Hopefully this video helped, and if it did, make sure to let me know in the comments below or by leaving a like. I know that ISKRAs, like Salewas, can be a huge pain to find right off the rip, but just keep going at it and you'll find them all sooner or later. Just remember to stick to whatever map you like the best, and make sure to keep those key items to craft ISKRAs, just in case you can't find any. I'll be making plenty of Tarkov content this wipe, so just let me know what you want to see and I'll try to make it happen. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you around.